So guys, what if we talk about different ways of communicating with people?
Yeah, we can talk about the good and the bad things.
So Rafa, what do you think of, for example, giving a lecture?
Well, I think that is a very usual way of communication because it's very used in schools, college, for the like the students to learn a new topic for their exams or their maybe his homeworks. I think it's very useful. Now, disadvantage could be that maybe the students doesn't pay the attention that they need to learn that new topic.
Also, a bad thing is the person may get nervous because all the people who is looking at him.
Yes.
So, Freddy, what do you think about chatting online?
Well, I think nowadays it's a very common way of communicating because of the use of internet. It allows us to communicate with other people from around the world. We can send messages really easy and really fast, but I think it may also bring their bad things because, for example, you can give out personal information and to give it to another person you don't know what he can or she can do to you, and that can be a very bad thing for chatting online. So, Sebas, what do you think of having a face-to-face meeting?
Well, for me, it's the most formal way to talk because you can see the guy face to face. So you can know if he is angry, sad, or something like that. A disadvantage it could be that you can say something that make the other person angry or sad. So it's in face to face. It's all day you are talking like this. So
Yeah. What about having a video conference?
Well, I also think that with the new technologies that we have nowadays, it's very easy to communicate with people from around the world with maybe just a camera and have the most similar thing like face-to-face communication, but with a computer. I think it's very useful for the person who travel a lot around the world because to get contact with his family that is in his home maybe. And I think that this disadvantage could be that maybe it's also very risky for the little children that they don't know how to use it very well and they could get troubles.
and if you had a bad reception, you can lose your sign.
Of course, yes, it could be a bad thing.
Well,
What about writing a letter, guys?
Well, I think that it's a very old way of communicating. People don't use it as much as before, but I think it was pretty good because, for example, if you wanted to get in contact with a friend that is on other country or with your family, you could write a letter. But a bad way I see in this is that, for example, you have to wait for the response. So you have to wait also for the letter to come to that person, and then you have to wait for the response. So that can be a bad thing about this way of communicating.
Well, it can also could be a romantic thing.
Yeah,
the,
maybe.
the women like it a lot.
Yeah.
Like, to send a card or a letter is very nice.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that. So, what do you think that are the two worst things?
Well,
Ways of
for me, the worst things it would be giving a lecture, and yeah, maybe writing a letter because it's not a common thing.
For you, Rafa,
Well, for me, I think that chatting online because I don't know gives you like a feeling of that you see the other person, but I don't feel the emotions that the other person maybe have, or they don't they don't give the sensation that you would like to feel.
Yeah, I agree with you because, for example, can also be misunderstood because it's online and
Yes.
you don't know what that person meant. If he meant another thing and you write something else, that can be a very bad thing for communicating online with other people. So,
And for you, Freddy?
as I said, chatting online, but also I think writing a letter because it's an old way of communicating. And people don't use it as much, but as you said, like in a romantic way, people may use it that way, but in other um, aspects, like writing to a friend, I think it's not.
An old way.
Yes, an old way, and not very effective.
So, well, guys, see ya.
See you.
See you, Sebas.
Bye.
Feliz.